Robert, for a lot of the people that are watching these banks fail, like you said, you and I have a financial education, but a lot of people don't, and they panic, they ask questions, they don't really understand how a bank like Silicon Valley Bank can fail. And again, there were some wide-ranging consequences that I want to get to as well. But like, how do you explain to people, how the banking system works, then how the Fed works, and what do you tell them to do about all this? Is it ultimately down to voting, to education? What do you tell them?
Well, that's why I wrote this book here in 1997. It came out. This book had to be self-published, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because every one of those academic elites running our publishing houses like Simon & Schuster and all that, they turned my book down because they're Marxists. They said, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, what do you mean your house is not an asset? What do you mean savers are losers? What do you mean this? Why do you say you should not pay your taxes? I mean, look at my friend here, Donald, when he ran against Hillary Clinton, she says, Donald, you don't pay taxes. And he laughed at her and he says, that means I'm smart. And again, you go back in history, America fought Mother England in 1773 because of the tax on, I think, tea, the Boston Tea Party. You look at our history. We fight for our freedoms. But today, once the academics, as this book says here in 1930, entered Columbia University, he didn't say this, but that's when the teachers took over the communists took over academics. And then this, my friend here, gets taken down in 2020 in a rigged election. Now I'm going to get censored for that. But in my opinion, just go back to what Stalin said, it's not who votes that counts, who counts the votes.
Yeah,
and that's what's going on in our country.
It's interesting what you say about taxation, because I was in Dubai in October last year, and it was really my first time there. I'd been there like 15 years earlier, and I was kind of blown away by this spirit. You can kind of feel it when you're walking around the streets and amongst the people and in the incredible buildings. But it's this tax-free zone where capitalism is promoted, where they have a long-term vision of growth for the country. They're the city of the future. And I pulled out my phone and I was walking through one of those like tunnels, those high walkways, and I recorded a vlog, and I titled it this, Robert. I said, Dubai is what America used to be. That's what I did. It was a spontaneous idea I had in my head. And I was like, here's a place where the government's not trying to stand in your way. They're not trying to stop. They know that they need entrepreneurs to create, to build the future, and they're going to stay out of their way and give them every opportunity possible. And you could feel the excitement. I can only imagine that's what America felt like a couple hundred years ago. And then you go to our supposedly advanced Western democracies and you look at massive taxations. You look at these, like you said, things are going Marxist. You look at these ridiculous social issues. You look at these other things and you're like, well, who's the advanced civilization? It's not us over here in the West, I don't think.
No, and I was in London last night. I should have stayed over and talked to you there. But I was coming back from Romania, and Romania is, in my opinion, if I was going to move to a country, I'd move to Romania. The reason is that they're so capitalistic there, and they're once a Russian satellite.
Yeah,
they know what communism is like, and they fight it. And so, my aunt was a prima ballerina of Paris, and she was from Romania. But also that's where Count Dracula was from. So I'm more like Count Dracula, I think. But anyway, it's, history is worth studying and all this. But America has gone so communist via our academics. That's the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that's why I wrote the book. And I get attacked by my family. He said, how dare you call our family communist? I said, just read this book here.
You mentioned Romania. When I was in 2020, when we were getting banned and deleted by all the tech platforms for our fight for freedom of speech, I was walking down the sidewalk one day and a guy drove by in his car, hit the brakes and pulled over. And I thought, uh-oh, they're going to grab me finally, Robert. And he jumped out of his car and he came up and he shook my hand. His kids came after him. He took pictures with me. He said, Brian, I grew up in communist-controlled Romania. And I came here to this country so we could have freedom of speech, because I remember what it was like when we didn't. Yep. And things got very bad in Romania, as we know. And This was a guy from that former, idea system that was coming out saying there's something distinctly wrong with our now Western system. And it was really interesting to hear it coming from him, Robert.
Yep. And that's why, what you were asking me about the banking system. I'm a student at R. Buckminster Fuller. He wrote a book called The Grunch of Giants, Grunch, came out in 84, I believe. And GRUNCH stands for Gross Universal Cash Heist. So I'm reading Fuller. I was a student of Fuller. This guy's one of the greatest academic minds of our time. He's probably a Marxist himself, but I like his ideas. And GRUNCH stands for Gross Universal Cash Heist, how our wealth is stolen via our money. So that affected Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because I said, savers are losers. Your house is not an asset. Why don't they have financial education in our schools? Is that a mistake?
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, got to do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.